Hey guys, SMZ here. We're back playing Raid Shadow Legends minigame. So this minigame's been active. It's gonna run until tomorrow, I think, and it is only available if you're playing on Plarium Play. This is a pretty fun minigame, to be honest. I wouldn't mind if they would include something like this because Raid in general is a turn-based strategy. This involves kind of like live action in there as well. It's pretty fun. So the premise of the game is that we have Elhain running around and shooting arrows at a variety of spiders. The first couple of stages have been pretty straightforward. So I've done all of it. I'm just gonna do one more in this video to have you guys run through everything. And it's a very simple strategy how to do it. So stage 1 and stage 2 were relatively simple. You just had to survive for a number of minutes. But stage 3 is when it becomes a little tricky. Because not only you have to survive the initial waves, but then you have to defeat a boss who can be a bit challenging. But there's a very simple strategy to this game that once you figure out, this becomes relatively simple. So I was able to do all of this, and you have to do, for example, stage 3, you get 500 points per run. You have to do it but 6 times this, 5 times this, and 5 times stage 1. But it's relatively simple, and it's worth doing. Look at the rewards. You get a red shard at the end, you get some pinpoint gear, some of the accessory ascension items, artifact ascension items, all good rewards. So let's jump into the run and I'll walk you through. So she does her A1 at the very start. That's the only ability available to you. She just shoots one arrow. And then you slowly get upgrades. And at the start, you want to do AoE damage. So I would recommend picking up Rain of Arrows as the ability as you gather. And then slowly also adding some freeze into the kit. Also, and in the end, improving the A1, the arrow shot, because that will help towards the battle with the boss. Another thing, this you can pause at any time. So if I resume, I can anytime click this button and pause the battle. So if you want to take a breather, that's when you do it. So with that said, let's jump into it. And there's one strategy. Just run circles. The strategy is to just run in circles. They're not going to shoot you very well if you're just running in circles. So let's go. So she starts shooting, and you will notice I'm just gonna go in circles. What that will also allow me to do is to collect all of these materials. So wherever they die, they leave behind this material, and that material is what helps you upgrade these skills. If you're going in a circle, then each time you return back to the position that they died in, you're collecting those materials and you're upgrading the skills. So I'm initially gonna put my upgrades into Arrow Rain because this does AoE damage and it's actually pretty good. So she does Arrow Rain and it keeps shooting arrows for a specific duration. So you notice the circle in the middle. I'm almost gonna just keep running circles around that circle. And basically you just keep doing that for 2 minutes, and then when the boss comes. So for the second ability, you don't get to choose Arrow Rain. You can pick Explosive Arrow, Arrow Shot, or Lightning Arrow. At this point, I can upgrade my A1 so it kills a little bit, and then I'll put more into Arrow Rain and then finally into Freeze. So let's upgrade Arrow Shot right now, which is the A1, which is actually good to have. I haven't taken any damage using this strategy so far because I'm just running in circles, and the shots that they do, especially I think the green spider, the big green spider, the shot that it does, it's kind of tangential, and if you're running in circles, it'll always miss you. So good so far. There's obviously some luck involved here, so you will die every now and then, but keep going in circles. Try to avoid them as much as you can while collecting all of these green gems and the blue gems that they leave behind, so you can upgrade these skills. So Arrow Shot still is not available, neither is the upgrade to the Arrow Rain, so I'm going to pick up Ice Arrow. This is also going to be useful for the minions of the boss who actually run pretty fast. So notice while I'm running in the circle, I am getting back to my original position, picking up more of these green gems. Continue doing that. And now, why is the Arrow Rain not available? Then we keep putting into Ice Arrow. Keep collecting green, rinse and repeat. Arrow Rain, finally. Arrow Rain is the best one. Oh, this path is getting blocked out. We might take some damage because of that. But just keep running the circle the opposite way. So that's kind of the fun part of it. In Raid, normally you don't get this because Raid is very static. And I'm trying to get back to my circular loop. Taking slum damage, that's perfectly fine. They're still missing, and I'm still going to try to get back to my circular loop as soon as I can. So much material here. I'm going to get another upgrade. I am going to put that more into ice arrow because the boss is about to appear in 30 seconds. You will notice that as soon as the boss approaches, so that timer that counts down to around 20 seconds or so, the hordes are going to thin out. It's naturally going to thin out regardless of how many you've killed. And now at this point in time, I can upgrade into ice arrow, but explosive arrow is also pretty good, especially for the boss. So I'm going to start picking that up. And you will notice the horde is starting to thin automatically. And I'm going to collect a lot more material. I'm going to try to get to level 11. I'm getting close to there. And it's 15 seconds left, only one. There you go. And now I can upgrade explosive arrow, but I'll put some into arrow shot, which is my A1, because I'm shooting that most often. One spider left. The last spider is dead. Boss is about to appear. Just 5 seconds in. We're going to apply the exact same strategy at the boss. Come on, boss. Come on in. This big bug. Is this going to be a new boss in Raid Shadow Legends? A new dungeon? So the boss basically hits in the front. So your strategy is to go in a circle and always try to go behind its back. And with the circular arrow, notice the amount of damage that you do. The minions come in, the freeze is going to help tremendously. And again, you're just running a circular loop, avoiding everything. I've not lost much health. I lost some, just as I said that. But the strategy basically works. Circle, circle, circle. Now the circle is closing by, so I'm just gonna change the direction of my circle. Explosive arrow is a good one to have at the boss. A lot of minions. Freeze and arrow rain is gonna help me out. Let's put more into explosive arrow. Boss is slowly but surely losing health, so are the minions. And we are avoiding its shots. There are these red dots that are, or red circular marks that keep appearing. This arrow rain does a lot of damage to the boss. And again, when the boss is hitting, try to get to its back. Let's put into our A1, the arrow shot. Get close to the boss so we start hitting. Look at the damage we are doing. I've not taken much damage from the boss. Circle, circle, circle. I keep saying circle, but that's the strategy. Oh, I took a lot of damage there. That was a bad move on my part. You see, the freeze helps tremendously at these minions. And you're still collecting fragments, by the way, to upgrade your skills even further. I think the boss is gonna die anytime now. There you go. Almost level 15. Relatively simple fight. It looks very difficult, but just use this strategy. Just go around. Circular path. Obviously, it's not going to be a perfect circle. As you saw, I also deviated quite significantly. But it works. I've done it multiple times. As you saw, I've completed this fully. I would highly recommend that you do as well. It's very well worth it. But yeah, a short one for you guys. Hope this is helpful. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.